Hi superstars, today we'll be talking about palm oil business in Nigeria and its risk. Palm oil business is very profitable. You can make 100% return on investment, 200% return on investment, sometimes 50% return on investment, but in all it is profitable. But you know what, my superstars? It has its risk. Yes, so many people tend to say, make it look very rosy and all that. And over a period of months, I've been telling you about how profitable palm oil business is, but I've never told you the risk involved. So if you must go into palm oil business, be it palm oil storage business, palm oil reselling, it has its risk. So today, my superstars, I'll be enlightening you on the risk involved in palm oil business so you don't make mistakes, okay? It's not every day you see profits. It's not every day you go, you buy and you make 100% return, 250. No, there are days you have losses. So I'll be telling you the risk involved so it can help you reduce this risk to the barest minimum if you are starting palm oil business. Okay, my superstars. So if you're a buyer, a seller, a retailer, someone who's into palm oil storage business, then this video is for you. Come closer, grab a book, a pen, all right? Let's get started. So we have risk at different levels. So I'll be starting from the lowest level to the highest level. Okay, so at the lowest level of risk, you have the village processors. Yes, we have people at the lowest level, which is people who process palm oil at the mill. The first risk you tend to encounter from them is that we have very dubious processors. Yes, we have processors who will tell you, give me money so I can go and buy palm fruits, come and extract palm oil for you and all that. And by the time you give them money, they'll disappear. Okay, you won't see them, you won't see the palm oil, you won't see the money. Once they sight you from afar, they have disappeared. And every other person who works in that mill, they have this MOU, this memorandum of understanding, that once you show up, they'll tell you they've not seen him or they've not seen her. Oh, she just stepped out. Oh, she went, they called her, she went to this is different stories. So you realize that the money you gave to a miller to process palm oil for you is gone, like gone, okay? So that's the first level of risk. And at times we are lucky, we tend to meet some honest millers who, when they get from you, they give you your palm oil. May not be as at when you may play around for a week or two, but you get it. And some will tell you stories, but eventually deliver. And there are some you don't see at all, but that is the first level of risk. So if you are going into palm oil business, be very careful when you are giving money to palm oil millers, because they tend to have loads and loads of stories. So still at the village level, if you're going into palm oil storage business, another risk you encounter with the millers is giving you adulterated palm oil. Yes, okay, so some of this miller will give you palm oil that is not well processed. You know, when palm oil is processed and is mixed with water, it won't separate immediately. After milling, it blends very well, okay? And when you pour it into your jerry can, you won't notice. It's when you get to the house and leave it for like 2-3 days, you realize that when you are turning it into another jerry can, the palm oil will separate, the water will separate. That's when you realize that they gave you water and palm oil mixed. Okay, and should you keep it for over a period of time, it turns to some other thing, it goes rancid. Okay, so we have millers like that as well. So one of the things we do is we tend to sit down and watch the whole processing process. Okay, once we pay for palm oil, we sit down and watch the production process to be sure that what we are getting is palm oil and not mixed. Okay, we sit down and watch the mill extract the oil, and then before it is then scooped into our jerry cans and all that. Those are some of the things you do to stop them from giving you mixed and adulterated palm oil. Okay, so at the market level, with some people tend to buy adulterated palm oil. Yes, some palm oil can be adulterated, and if you're not someone who knows palm oil very well, how to carry out tests on palm oil to know if it is adulterated, if colors are added, if additives are added, if water is mixed in it, there's every tendency that you could buy a mixed palm oil, and this is a very high level risk because should you keep it for a period of time, the water will separate. If color was added, the color will separate, and this will make it difficult for you to sell out. Another level of risk is giving money to fake people. For those who buy palm oil online, people who are in other states and all that, giving money to people you have not seen before, it's a very high level of risk in palm oil business. Okay, not just in palm oil business, every business. Okay, so you need to be very careful who you send money to. All right, you need to be very careful because there are people who just open fake accounts, and then once you send money to them, they are gone. Okay, so you have to be very careful in palm oil business. Be sure you know the person has been in the business and is still in the business, to ensure that your money goes to the right hands and you don't hear stories later. Another risk in palm oil business is buying at the wrong time. If you buy palm oil at the wrong time, then you won't make profits. Yes, if you buy high and then the price drops, you may likely sell at a low price and then run at losses. So in palm oil business, it is very risky to not know the trends in palm oil business. It is very risky not to know the market and all that. You need to know when to buy and when to sell out your palm oil. You need to know when the price is low enough for you to buy and then when it's high enough for you to sell. This is a very high level risk. I've met someone who says that she keeps selling her palm oil at a loss, and after speaking with the person, I realized that she buys at the wrong time and sells at the wrong time. So in palm oil storage business or palm oil business generally, time is of essence and is very important, as this guides and determines if you make profit or losses. So apart from buying at the wrong time being a risk, selling at the wrong time is a bigger risk. There are so many people in palm oil business who have very high demands and expectations after buying palm oil. They tend to want to sell at maximum profit, so they tend to keep it and keep it gets to the big price and then drops again. Okay, so they tend to miss the big time they should have sold up due to high demands on profits. So that on its own is another risk. Okay, so you need to know the right time to sell out your palm oil and be content and sell it out so you don't run at a total loss. Okay, my superstar, so knowledge of the market is very important in palm oil business. Okay, right? The next and most important risk most people tend to overlook is going into palm oil business with money that is not your spare capital. Okay, you can't go into palm oil business with money you need at any time. It has to be a spare cash, money you don't have need for immediately, money you use specifically for business, because anything could happen and you have to keep the palm oil aside for it to increase in price before you sell it out. So you have to ensure that you don't go into palm oil business with money you have need for very soon or anytime soon. Okay, it has to be with your spare cash. Okay, another major risk in palm oil business is not knowing how to go about it, a bad method of storage. Okay, so some people, once they hear that this business is good, it's profitable, it's doing well, it's paying, they just rush in and start without knowing what's involved, how to buy, how to store, how to sell. They know absolutely nothing about the business. That is a very high level risk. If you buy palm oil and you don't know the right way to store the palm oil, it can go bad. If you don't know the right method of storage and the right storage conditions, that palm oil can either go rancid or solidify, and then you run at a loss. Okay, my superstars, so That is a very high level risk which so many people tend to overlook. You need to have knowledge of the business you are going into. Taking loans to do palm oil business is a major risk, a major risk. Taking loans from the bank or any financial institution to do palm oil business is a big risk. Yes, because you have to pay interest and you don't know the interest, the profit. Palm oil business, you can't estimate profit. It differs, it fluctuates. There are years you have 200%, there are years you have 100, there are years you have 50, and there are years you even have 20% return on investment. But at all, you make profit. But when it comes to taking loans from financial institutions, you have estimated with interest you need to pay. Okay, so it is very risky. What happens if you make 20% return on investment after sales of your palm oil? Would the profits be able to handle the interest you need to pay to the bank, and will you be able to make satisfiable profits after everything? Okay, so these are things you need to factor in before taking loans from the bank. Okay, that's why I don't advise anyone to take money from the banks, because you need to estimate what profits am I making, which we don't even know. It is not predictable. The interest return on investment on palm oil differs from years to years. Okay, so like I said, what if you make 20% return on investment? Will you be able to pay off the loan you had gotten from the bank, the interest, and then make profits? Okay, after calculating your logistics and everything, will you be able to make profits? So taking loans from the bank to carry out palm oil business is a very high level risk, which I do not advise anyone to venture into. So I've spoken on different types of risk involved in palm oil business, because I always tell people the truth as it is. Okay, I'll tell you what it is. I tell a lot of people, they'll call me, ID, should I buy now and store? Should I? I'll tell you, no, it's not time. Okay, you have to wait. All right, I'm not all about money. I'll tell you the truth as it is. So right now, I have told you all the risk involved. It is not always rosy in palm oil business, so you need to be very careful so you don't run at losses in palm oil business. Okay, my superstars, so I've done different videos on how to start a profitable palm oil business in Nigeria, how to know a good palm oil and an adulterated palm oil, how to get money to start your palm oil business in Nigeria. I've given different updates and all that on prices of palm oil in Nigeria. I've even gone to the mill, showing you how to buy palm oil from the mill. Different videos on palm oil business in Nigeria. So my superstars, go and check it out. And if you have not subscribed, please take a second to hit that subscribe button, like and share this video. Thank you. And my superstars, give me a thumbs up, okay, as this will encourage me to bring out more contents like this. All right, in the meantime, what would you love to know in our next video? Please write it in the comment section, and if you're satisfied, say yeah. All right, my superstars, till our next video, always remember that I love you. Bye.